Welcome. So today we're going to talk about the Magicka Sorc build. You will find the written guide on alcasthq.com/mystic. I will also make sure to put some alternative setups and like gear that is easy to get on there if you don't have access to some of the sets. Now let's get started. So basically I buff myself 62% crit, 2.6k spell damage, 44k Magicka and 18k health. We are using twice one star, so we are using the Shadow and the Thief Mundustone. We are using health and Magicka buff food, and we are using those potions here. They give me spell damage, spell crit and more Magicka. Now in terms of race, you like for max damage you want to be a dark elf, but I am playing with a high elf simply because no real reason, but I always have high elves, okay? And the damage is not much worse. It's maybe 1-2% difference and that's it. Now, Breton of course also works. For example, you will deal a little bit less damage, but still the difference is really small. Now in terms of gear, so I'm using twice one star. Now I will talk at the end of the video why I don't use like Scathing Mage or Mother Sorrow, but first off let's check this out. So I have a heavy chest and a medium belt, and then I have 5 light pieces with those here. Make sure to have everything in divine if possible. Now why do we use 511? We use 511 because of the Undaunted Metal passive. We get 6% extra resources from this passive. That's why we want to use 511. Now I'm also using Infallible Aether because I just prefer spell crit over Magicka, even on a Sorc. Now you could use Moondancer if you want to, it's really up to you. Now 2 pieces Elambris, this is a new set, so when you deal like flame or shock damage you have a 10% chance to summon a meteor shower of the damage type that deals 1.8k damage to all enemies within 4 meters every second for 5 seconds, and it has an 8-second cooldown. So you proc the effect, it goes on for 5 seconds. You have to wait another 3 seconds and then it can proc again. Now both of those effects can proc at the same time. That's why it's really strong. Plus you can use it ranged, so really nice. Now in terms of weapons, I'm using a Maelstrom Lightning Staff Sharpened and a Fire Staff Sharpened. Now if you don't have Maelstrom weapons, just check on my website. You also could use like an Infallible weapon here, Sharpened or Precise, for example, or Moondancer, like whatever you prefer, but you also need to have the weapon first, of course. I know it's really hard to get those, but this is simply a clean setup: 5 Twiceborn, 2 Elambris, the Master weapons, and like 3 jewelry pieces. Now that's it about the gear. Let's get to the CP. So I have 20 points in Thaumaturge, 86 in Elemental Expert and 8 in Elfborn. So I really prefer the extra crit because we have a lot of points in Elfborn. You could put the 100 points in here if you want to and just remove a little bit of those. That's it. Now 87 Arcanist, 100 in Magician, 90 Hardy and 97 Elemental Defender. That's basically it. This is the most important. Now in terms of skills, there is quite a huge variety possible, but let me just show you the most simple setup first. So we have Malicious Curse, 3.5 seconds, and once it's after the 3.5 seconds it makes boom, explosion. It has to be on the front bar, or it should be on the front bar, because we are mainly on this bar with Force Pulse Weaving and Crystal Frag, so you want to reapply this as soon as it runs out. Now Crystal Frag, we only use this ability when it instantly procs, so you see the second text. Casting any other magic ability has 35% chance of causing your next Crystal Frag to be instant, dealing 20% more damage and costs 50% less. That's why you want to use it when it's an instant cast. Like your hands will glow kinda, so you see it. Then we have Inner Light on this bar, 5% more Magicka. Bound Aegis, 8% more Magicka, and the Shooting Star. We use this in single target fight, it's still a little bit better than the ultimate. Now Blockade of Fire and Liquid Lightning. So Blockade of Fire has quite a huge area. Liquid Lightning is only a 4-meter radius, so you have to kind of precisely drop this. Now, because this is our off bar, we want to be mainly on our front bar, right? So when we reapply dots, we want to weapon swap cancel. So this is when I do the full animation of Liquid Lightning, it's really slow. But when I do weapon cancel the animation, like you basically don't see the animation at all and the skill still goes off. That's what you want to do. Then we have Mage's Wrath on this bar. This is our execute from 20% health and lower. Plus Harness Magicka. Now you want to have a shield in trials. If you don't slot the shield, you are going to die. A dead damage dealer does 0 DPS, okay? It's really simple. People really don't understand it, but if you want to be good, slot the shield. It's better to do 2k less DPS but not die, rather than do 0 damage because you die and you try to do 2k more deeps. It's like, it's simple, okay? Yet not many people understand it. Now Bound Aegis again, and then here the Fiery Rage. So this ultimate is really fucking strong in AoE fights, okay? It's fucking insane how it melts down the ads. It deals 9k damage every second for like 7 seconds, and you see ability does an additional 10% damage for using the fire stuff. And when you have a Magicka DK in your group that uses Engulfing Flames, which increases your fire damage by another 10%, you will do another 10% more. So you want to have a fire stuff with this ability if possible. Now, next thing. Now I'm saying like I'm taking off Inner Light because it's not that good, and I was like, oh shit. He took off Inner Light, what's wrong with it? Why did he do that? Is he stupid? Now, so the thing is, there is a bug with Inner Light, right? So when I have Inner Light on the first bar, you see my spell crit is 61.9. When I swap here, it's 51.9. Now you say, yeah, but it doesn't matter because I'm using potions, right? That give me spell crit. The second text gives me spell crit. So I have 51.9. I use the potion 61.9. So it doesn't matter, right? Now the thing is, we swap back to the first bar, 61.9. We swap back to the second bar where no Inner Light is, 51.9. Despite the potion still being active. Now, why does that happen? So basically, this bug has been here since the start of the game. Like here you activate the potion, it realizes, okay, the potion gives me the crit buff. Then I swap here, and this crit, the Inner Light gives me the same buff. The game forgets that the potion gave you the same crit buff. Then you swap back, it realizes no Inner Light on the bar and your crit is gone. That's why I'm saying I'm just taking this off and we are done. Then what you can do is, it's really up to you, you can slot it. I mean, it's just basically you lose the crit on your second bar, but you're not long on your second bar. So it's really up to you if you want to slot it or not. But then I prefer having Mage's Wrath on the first bar because we can, during execute phase, we can reapply the dots really quickly and then use Mage's Wrath. And we want to use Crystal Frag because this skill, it's like really cheap, 50% less damage when it instantly procs, and it does 20% more damage. And when we spam Mage's Wrath in execute, it can proc, of course. So that's really nice. That's why I want to have this on the first bar. Now you have a free slot here. What you can do is, if you can play melee, most of the times Magicka Sorcs have to play ranged. That's why they don't really can go melee, but if you can, you could use Boundless Storm here, just for melee. Now, you also wonder, shit, like, where is his AoE skill, where is Impulse? Now, before I forget it, almost forgot it. we don't need AoE skill because we have a lightning staff. Now, why do I say that? If we go to destruction, the last text, shock heavy attacks, damage nearby enemies for 132% of the damage done. So you can stay far away, do heavy attacks, keep up your 2 dots and do the heavy attack. You will do more damage than spamming impulse, okay? Plus, the mobs are over there, you are here. If you stand there, a lot of incoming damage. If you stand here, no damage. Really simple. It just saves your ass from getting noob filtered really hard and a lot, okay? Now, if you also could slot, because we have quite nice crit, rearming trap, because it gives us the minor force buff if you can use it. Now it's really up to you in the end. I also like this one because you just like run around a little bit faster, plus it gives you major ward and major resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance. People like they still have in their minds full damage, you know, no defensive stuff, but it's wrong. It will kill you in trials, believe me. It will kill you. That's the thing. Now yes, we lose Magicka from not slotting in the light, but then we kind of gain 3 to 4% crit because the one we lose here on this bar during the time, because it's also damage and it will just crit less. So you need to decide for yourself what you want to have more. Do you want to have more max Magicka or a little bit more like constant crit? I prefer it like this. Now, just to showcase you the ulti, let's get to it. Now let's take those mobs here into the corner. So we are dropping this and it's going off. You see, I'm basically doing no other damage. And those are CP 160 mobs. They just fucking melt. And you also have seen the Elambris go off. Yeah, this is the Elambris. Okay, so now you have seen the new ultimate. It really deals a shit ton of damage, believe me. Especially if several people use it. Trash is just gonna melt. Now, we could add a third layer to the build with overload, but I think for most people like a setup like this, with or without inner light, is more optimal. Now, why don't I use Scathing Mage or Mother Sorrow? So, Twiceborn is just a really nice overall set. I mean, Mother Sorrow and Scathing might get you 1-2% more extra damage, but it's just you will have less health. Twiceborn Star, you can use 2 Mundus Stones and it gives you health bonus, stamina and max Magicka. It's just really, really nice, and it puts us at a nice health level. That's just my opinion. If you have full Scathing, you could use it instead of Twiceborn Star, for example. You just don't want to lose the Minor Slayer, and you shouldn't lose Elambris, so you really only have like this set here which you can choose from. Either Twiceborn Star, Scathing on Mother Sorrow. Okay, so that's basically it. I'm getting my sword geared on the live server at the moment, so I will play Magicka Sorc more the next patch, and I also have to learn a little bit more about it. Because gearing and setting up a character is one thing, but playing, performing well, you know, like putting the dots at the right time and using like the right rotation is another thing. That's what you need to learn on your own. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.